Hello and welcome back to another top table duels. Today's video is going to be a ranked best of 3 match. Up in the blue, we're going to have TJPots playing at 951 is his rank, down against in the red noobyfriend at 100. TJPots in blue is going to be playing an Ishizu Tearlament build, probably nothing too special that we've seen it 1,000 times. And noobyfriend down here is playing something near and dear to my heart from I believe 2015, 2016. The Spiritual Beasts or Ritual Beasts deck down here specifically look like against Toolbox and Dimension Sifter, which this deck can really utilize that. So let me know before you watch this video, let me know in the comments below who you think is going to win this match. And I will point out that yes, a 100 versus 951 and best of 3, 951's top 200 versus someone who's just starting to climb the ladder. DB, make sure you fix your ranking system. All right. I don't think that should happen. All right, so the red's gonna be going first. He's gonna activate Small World, and then he's going to trigger his Dimension Shifter. He's going to reveal a Tamer, Winda, an Elder, and a Chandler. So he's going to give him his Elder Beast Tamer. So if you don't know, you need a Tamer in order to basically get out your Spiritual Beast. So he's going to activate the Conhawk's effect. He's going to banish a Rempingu, and then he is going to go into his Ultra Beast Conhawk. So interesting fact, so he can chain its effect to tag itself back out. It says you must target 2 and return them to banish, but it says return them to the graveyard, so you actually only have to return 1. So it allows you to cheese out additional searches off of a Conhawk in 1 turn. So he's going to tag back out, special summon the Rempingu and the Elder Beast, and then only return the Conhawk, which is going to allow him a Ritual Beast Tamer win. He's going to trigger Spiritual Beast Rempingu's effect to banish out his Ritual Beast Ulti Galpaleo, and then also banish out his Tamer Winda. So if you don't know, each one of them only has the clause that they can only be special summoned once per turn, which kind of limits the effect. So you're constantly trying to cycle through all of them that can be special summoned. So what he does here is he links off into Ritual Beast Ulti Falcos, which allows him to banish and then immediately normal summon 1 Ritual Beast monster. So when that win he searched for, now he's going to get to special summon out of it. But specifically looking at this, we've special summoned these 2. We haven't done the Winda yet, and we haven't special summoned the Conhawk yet. So he can continue his plays and keep going. So I don't know if this guy is playing the trap build or how many he's playing. I know before it was always 3 and 3, and that was kind of your way, was to set up a special summon and then a trap to blow out the field. Was it the, yeah, it was the Secret Forces this set came out, and it came out at the same time as Necros, way overshadowed by Necros when they came out, because obviously Necros was great, but this deck did see regional success. There was a lot of really interesting builds. It didn't have obviously the tech cards to really help it extend. All right, so now we're going to see here he's special to banished out the Apaleo off of the Conhawk effect, and we're going to see him go into the Ulti Conhawk now. At this point, going to return 1 more. Chain itself to tag back out. So now the win can be special summon because it hasn't been. The Apaleo hasn't been special summon. He's going to return the ulti because that one you can't really do anything about and out of the banish zone. And now he's going to get his steeds, and his steed is going to allow him to destroy monsters in the field up to the number of Ritual Beasts. So I really hope that they come out with additional future support that allows them to maybe get a trap or spell that destroys back row. Maybe they have. I haven't really kept with the deck, but this only being allowed to destroy monsters was a huge boon to the deck, and why it couldn't really take off in a time where there was still, after Necrons went down, there's still a lot of back row decks, and the deck had a hard time dealing with any type of back row interruption. So now we see him going into the 3rd Ulti Conhawk, and again, if you remember Ulti Conhawk getting the axe on the ban list a while back, just because Konami's like, you know what, our bad, we gave you way too much interruption. So he's going to search for his 2nd Ritual Beast Steeds, and if you don't know, obviously the Ulti Conhawk and the Ulti Ritual Beast allow them to tag out even on your opponent's turn and special summon 2. So at this point, he can special summon 2 and basically destroy 3. So TJPots goes ahead and passes turn here. I'm not 100% sure why he did that. All right, so he's going to go ahead and tag out, activate Apaleo's effect, banish 1, and he's going to go into his turn. Oh, I'm sorry. He passed turn because he was under Dimension Shifter. Ignore everything I just said. He basically said, hey, I can't play because I'm under Dimension Shifter, and I know anything you bring out, you're just going to banish. So, Apaleo's going to banish again to bump up their attacks all monsters gain 500. To which he's going to say, I'm going to go ahead and halveness that. So he's going to do his mill 3, and he's going to hit the Sheeran as well as the Keldo. Not exactly great for this deck. He doesn't care. Most things are going to be hitting the graveyard anyway, so he activates the Sheeran's effect to go into a Fusion Summon. And at this point, the moment he gets his Callus on the board, yep, he's going to bring down the Ghost Mourner. So basically, he's just, if your opponent special summons Demo Ship, you can discard a card of the target that face up, negate its effects to the end of the turn. Also, if that monster leaves the field, its controller takes damage. It's just, if your opponent special summons a monster face up, you can discard this card, then target one of those face up monsters and negate its effect. So right now they're arguing over the chain links here. Because it is a trigger effect on summon, TJPots is correct, because he has turn priority. So Kit Callus is still going to get so basically he was still going to get his opportunity to he can still send one because he's not going to be able to do special summon play to get himself into his Rukalos, and he doesn't want anything that allows him to tag out like enemies ulti beasts. So right here, Nobody Friend is going to go into his Lightning Chidori, and then he's going to basically bounce him back to the extra deck, and he should take the damage from Kalos and plus the bumped up 500s. That should be enough for game. So he knows here he's pretty much in the clear, so he's gonna, I guess he's gonna continue on. Yeah, he didn't have enough for game. Oh no, I'm sorry, he doesn't. Yeah, he should have taken the damage for Mourner. Yeah, if that face-up monster leaves the field, its controller takes damage. Yeah, so he should have taken the 2300 damage, whatever it is, for Kit Callus. Can't remember off the top of my head. So he's gonna go ahead and keep special summoning. Because at this point he knows the one major interruption he had is off, but there still is the Kelbeck of the Ancient Vanguard in hand. But he has to wait for something to get sent from hand to graveyard. I guess he technically could have done that on the Moonlit Chill, but I think he thought he had a play, so he didn't do it. And at this point, there's nothing really else that I don't think the Beast really discard from hand. So he's going to continue his play line here. He's going to continue to special summon out of ulti to get into his searches. And he's going to go into his Falcos, which allows him his additional normal summon. And then she is going to target Apelio, in which he is going to activate the Keldo to try to return it. Apelio, Mourner, and Shifter. So he's going to go ahead and say, no, I'm going to return all those to you. Twitch point, noobyfriend says, I'm going to think, big think, sorry. At this point, he's trying to think, he's saying, yeah, so he says, what's the wording? Also, do you have to take damage from Mourner? All right, so they're going to keep talking here. They call a judge. So the judge tells them you have to take damage. So I think part of the confusion that is, because I know there's some confusion about when a monster leaves the field, specifically I'm forgetting the big guy's name, Amir Jade or Ice Jade or whatever. When he leaves it says when he leaves the field at the end phase, destroy everything. So that specifically, he has to be somewhere where he can trigger his effect. So I think maybe TJPots thought that was that same sort of scenario, is that because it left the field and it's no longer there, he doesn't have to take the damage. But those are two different things. One is the effect of the monster activating, and one is one that's still applying on the field in the graveyard, which is Moonlit Chill. So because it left the field, Moonlit Chill is still applying. If a monster that has a when this card leaves the field effect that triggers, but it's returned to the deck, it cannot trigger. I think that was the confusion. So he takes the 19, takes the 18. This should be 19 as well, and the 100. So he's going to say, yep, that's it. I've lost that game. So the Dimension Shifter pulling a lot of weight. I don't know if Ritual Beast could have pulled it off without that, but it does not matter to me. I still think it's great. So TJPots is going to open us up. His hand is looking not great with the Cypher Driver, but he does open up the Instant Fusion, which immediately gets us into his Callus engine. He's got his Triple Tactics talent, so if there's any sort of interruption here, he can at least maybe try to profit off of that. He's got his Heartbeat to get rid of those traps, although I don't think that was, it's really quite necessary. Most of his traps destroy anyways, so it's not, all of your Tearlaments are going to float anyways off their effects, so it's not a huge deal. So he immediately goes into Ghost Mourner and Moonlit Chill, which is going to say, hey, so again, never mind, you're a turn player. If I'm turn player, yeah, derp, draw 2. So he negates effects, and now if Kikalis leaves, yeah, it's 2300, so he's going to take 2300 damage. Normal summons, TJPot normal summons the Rhino Heart effect to send. He's going to go ahead and send Havness. Havness effect is going to trigger. Nobody's friend is going to say, you're good to go. He's going to take the 2300. Man, I've never seen Moonlit Chill A mained and B put in so much work. Alright, so it does not look like he can continue on. So because his Kikalis got stopped right there, he doesn't have a lot of extenders. His Rhino Heart gets him into his Dragostapelia. So he's looking at 1 monster negate as well as a spell and trap destruction. So for the Ritual Beast, getting that main playoff is a big deal for them. So he's going to normal summon the Ritual Beast of Paleo, and he's going to run over the Rhino Heart and pass turn. Like I said, so he opens up with his 1 Tamer, but he has Lara, so since there's none in the graveyard, he can't activate its effect. So 2-minute Sheeran is going to special summon itself, sending the Kelbeck, and then it mill its 3, and then Kelbeck will trigger as well as the Sheeran that also got milled to grave will also trigger here. So at this point, yeah, that Dimension Shifter, I think it was 1 turn too late. Alright, so TJPots is going to use that Sheeran Engrave effect to go into Kikalis. Kikalis effect is going to activate. And then he is going to use Kikalis effect to send itself to graveyard to special summon out the Rhino Heart that was attacked over last turn. And then he's going to go ahead and mill his 5, hitting another Sheeran, so he's going to get no effect off of that. Also hits the... Oh, yeah. So he's going to get all of his effects off. Newbie Friend is saying, hey, I can't come back from that. I don't have a Tamer. I definitely need to go first. I also think that Newbie Friend going first in this scenario is probably what's going to keep him in it. Alright, so Newbie Friend, forgetting to go into main phase 1, just decides to immediately allow a Pot of Prosperity in the draw phase. Pro plays. Newbie Friend, if you're watching this, I'm just playing with you, man. It happens all the time. Alright, so he's going to go ahead and banish 6. That's actually, because we can actually see what they banish now. We can see what he kind of gets rid of, what he doesn't care about. Petalfin. Petalfin was always the worst. Probably only plays 1 of it anyways. The awful card. No one ever went into it. Gets rid of 1 of his Falcos. Probably plays 2 just for the recursion plays. A Paleo, definitely 2. Gets rid of a Kanahot. You really only... Well, you should play 3. Gets rid of 1, so he has 2. Because if you lose 1, you're really threatened about losing 1. And gets rid of the Ulti Paleo. Okay, yeah. So, a little bit of mind's eye into what he's playing here. Sucks that he didn't see the shifter until after the prosperity, but he's going to go and get the Macrocosmos. And I am not much of a betting man, but I think Macrocosmos getting turned on is going to be a win for this. It is actually quite interesting now. I didn't think about this, and maybe this could be a I'm not going to say a competitive deck. It's not something you're going to take to a YCS due to consistency issues. But, I mean, for a locals, this deck could really probably clean up. And maybe in a small regional where you're not going to have to show consistency for, 10 rounds. So, he activates the Macrocosmos. TJPot goes ahead and says, all right, well, I'm going to have to go into my Instant Fusion. My Kikalis is going to activate. Maybe friend reminding him Macrocosmos is active. Just make sure you banish your inference. He says, yep, TJPot says, I just want to search. And then he's going to activate Sheeran in hand. What's he going to ditch off of this? Alright, so he's going to ditch a Merly, special summon Sheeran. They're discussing, does he have to send the top 3? He's saying it's cost. No. Yep. So, he said, I'm thinking on Summon of Time Thief because they're having a long discussion about that, which is fine. He says the materials get banished as well. TJPots is like, oh yeah, my bad, because it doesn't say all monsters. It says all cards. So technically everything's a card. All right, so He's going to have to scoop up and pass his turn, and right here he's looking at only... no, he can't even use... So he can't even use his orange light because he can't go to the graveyard. He can use the bell. But the problem is, though, is that the contact fusion effect kind of circumvents that because it's just a contact fusion. And because it's returning something from the banished into the graveyard, Ghost Bell doesn't do anything about that. So like a card like a Paleo to try to get the boost in an attack, he can't use it. Basically, that's the only thing that can really get belled out of this play, I think. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure in the play line that's all he can get done. So he's going to go his Ulticanahawk, he's going to search for his win, he's going to go, and then he's going to get his Falcos. I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure he got his win. And then he's going to... Oh, okay. So he's negating Falco. Yeah, sorry, I was wrong. Yeah, there you go. I was wrong. So he's trying to negate Falco's, but it banishes for cost. So he's basically saying, yep, can't do anything about that. So then he's going to activate Win. Win is going to get from the Banish Zone. And by TJPots showing him that he has the Ghost Bell, he basically just kind of showed him, hey, exactly what he has. That is the downside of maybe not reading costs. I don't know. So right here, he clearly does not have nearly enough for game. But he knows that he can get him danger close. And then he can go into, see, this doesn't activate his Rampango effect. Rampango to banish Ultiga Paleo, and she's allowed him to banish a Zephyr Pilica. And now he's going to contact fusion, or banish fusion, whatever you want to call it, into another Ulticanahawk. Trigger both its effects. Return the ulti, get his steeds for disruption, and with Macro on board, now that is a serious threat. Because he's basically staring down saying, what can you do about it? So it's good that noobyfriend got in for the damage while he could, and now he's going for all the searches. So now he even has his banished. The downside about, where is it? Why can I not see it? Ambush. Ambush does have the words graveyard on there, even though if you only want to get from banished, because there's the words graveyard, Bell can hit it. But TJPots sees the writing on the wall. He draws the worst top deck he possibly could. He draws into his driver. Other than a Lightning Storm or a Harpy's Feather Duster, nothing was going to save him out of that. Let me know what y'all think about in the comments below about Ritual Beast coming in. Especially, I mean, he got 26 points of it, especially taking down a top 200 player who's playing just a very standard Ishizu Tearlament build about the Ritual Beast. Let me know if you plan on maybe trying to build something like this, or if this has kind of piqued your interest back in Ritual Beast. I know it has for me. I'm definitely going to go try this out a little bit later. As always, if you like the video, please like and subscribe. It goes a long way, and let me know how much you like the content. And also let me know in the comments below what decks and what kind of duels you'd like to see upcoming. I'm always searching for more, and I appreciate y'all spending your time with me. Have a good one.
Thank you for watching. Try some of these other great duels. If you like what you saw, give us a like and subscribe.